What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but I'm excited. What I got for you today is I just wrapped up a product campaign for a client of mine, and I'm gonna be kind of talking in this video how I go from concept all the way through delivery, and also how I'm integrating AI into my workflow to kind of better enhance the visuals for my clients. Let's break it down. First, I want to talk a little bit about who the client even is and what they do. So basically, they're a mushroom-based company that sells gummies and chocolate bars, and they came to me needing some assets for web and for socials. This is the gummy here, packaging, full packets, and then they also had single dose stuff as well. So that's basically what the ask was and who Tropical Bliss is. This is the only inspo that they really gave me. So yeah, you can see we got some risers here, some cut fruit, some of the gummies, simple product, photography, nothing too crazy. I mean, this was kind of interesting for the chocolate bar. They wanted some dripping chocolate going down the chocolate bar onto the hand. So I pulled my own inspo images kind of from what I thought they were looking for. So these were just a bunch of different ideas, flat lays. Some of these I put in here to reference the lighting, and some of them more for placement. I really liked this one, the idea of having either the gummies or some of the cut fruit kind of floating around the object. So that was fun. Got some shots with hands in there. Got a good shot here. They did want a shot of all their products together, and then a separate shot of all 5 flavors together. This shot did a really good job utilizing the risers to kind of give it that height and keep it interesting. So yeah, that was all of my pre-production, and let's move on to production. So as you can see here, we're just going through each one of the flavors. The single dose versus the whole pack, and all of their product displays, and just getting a clean shot of the product that we can edit out and put on a white backdrop, kind of like how you see on Amazon. All right, you guys, so what you just saw in that last time lapse was kind of the first phase of production, where we were just capturing shots of the product and packaging front and back, just clean shots on white for Amazon or web or wherever they're posting this. And then this portion of production, phase 2, was the actual creative styled shoot, where we brought out multiple backdrops, fruits, we had some artificials. But yeah, so let's get into it. I didn't really know the best way to show you guys this. So I'm just inside of Premiere. So we kind of just started out approaching each one of these 5 flavor packets. We had to shoot like 3 to 5 of the same type of shots for each flavor. So that was like a shot with hands, a plain shot, a shot without risers, with risers, fruit, no fruit, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you can see Mia here cutting up the mango. Mia did awesome at set design, so that made stuff a lot easier. Ryan and I were knocking out the lighting and camera stuff. I was making sure that we were grabbing all the shots that we needed. So that was kind of like the first setup that we did for each one. A lot of these aspect ratios were really just 4 to 5 or 4 by 5. We did some 16 by 9 and some 1 to 1, but other than that, that was about it. That was all they were asking for. So here you can see Mia's shooting a shot with my hand in it. We switched to a macro lens for this. We were also on sticks on a 70-200 for these shots. So moving on to the other flavors, setting up, changing the backdrop. Also did some chocolate, so we have some chocolate shavings here that Mia was working on. Ryan setting up some stuff, holding the bounce card for me. Yeah, we tried to do a good variety of have the wrapper open on one, do some with the chocolate, without the chocolate, you know what I mean? So that's all this portion is with the chocolate here, packaging. And moving on to one of our group shots right here with the 5 flavors. We're using risers to kind of give it different height and depth. Got all the cut fruit right here and some artificials. This is another one of the group shots with all of the product that they sell. You could tell right here we're getting pretty tight with the actual width of the backdrop, but nothing some Photoshop magic can't fix. So yeah, Ryan's adjusting some of the trees for us in the background, trying to keep it tropical and on trend, or on brand. So yeah, on sticks, back to a 7200 for this shot. And this was that fun melting shot where we melted some chocolate and let it run down the chocolate bar onto the hand. And I'm tethered up during this, so I'm just able to go back to the computer and fire off a couple shots. And then yeah, finishing with some flat lays. That was basically it for production. Let's move on to post-production and check out some of the results. So starting with the silos that we got, we definitely overshot for this. We didn't want to miss anything. But you can see we wanted to get high quality images of different orientations of the gummies in case we want to have those floating around the scene like I talked about earlier. We got the shot of the chocolate bars, so we can put it right here next to the actual pack of the chocolate bars. So I'll kind of quickly go through some of the silos that we shot here so you can see. Packaging shot, front, back, left, right, a lot of the product on a 45. Straight on shots. I added a little bit of a drop shadow in here once I masked it out, put it on white backdrop. Here were those individual gummy shots, just kind of compiled 3 of them together here. Again, shot their displays. That was the shot that I had to paint in multiple images. Again, here we go with the single dose chocolate bar here. More displays. And yes, you guys get the gist of it here. Moving on to the actual lifestyle shots. Each shot just got a normal product shot here. Different backdrops, whatever looked best with the product. Again, we did a shot with all of the different flavored gummies, as well as all of the product together. Now this was a composite of multiple images because again, we didn't have enough samples, so I had to take pictures and move stuff around and do some Photoshop magic there. Let's see if I have a before and after of that. So basically all of these images, I kind of took a little bit from each one of these images to get that final shot here. I wanted to make sure each one also got with a hand in it here, holding the gummy that goes with that pouch or that bag. And then we did a fun flat lay for each one as well. We were running out of time on the flat lays. We could not change out the background color like I wanted to for each one. This could have been something I photoshopped, but I just didn't feel like it / think it needed it. And then finally, I wanted to do like a floating shot for each one. Not all of these came out how I wanted to. I have to say, these are probably my favorites. Really these two in specific. So I was really happy with how these came out. Again, we shot the fruits in different orientations so that I can have options with how I wanted things to be floating. I think I did have to pull off a Shutterstock. Some like this was white peach and we couldn't find any for the actual day of the shoot. Some of those fun melted shots. Those single dose gummies, try to get a hand in there. Yeah, I think basically I took this shot, expanded it out, and added in this shot here with the drop shadow to kind of have like a group shot for all of the chocolates. But yeah, guys, this was basically it as far as post-production goes. Again, I used Lightroom and Photoshop to kind of get what you're seeing here. But let's jump into an AI software called Higgsfield, and I'm going to show you kind of how you can elevate these visuals and take them a step further. So my platform of choice is Higgsfield at the moment. Higgsfield, if you don't already know, is basically just a platform that hosts a bunch of different AI models for photo and for video. So if we head over into Higgsfield here, you can see this is the image lifestyle that I had. I basically changed that into this beach scene. Over here you can see the prompt that I used. Basically I used like ChatGPT or Claude to write me a more descriptive prompt that basically says don't change the packaging or any of the text, retain all of the details, and basically change this scene. So much is doable inside of Higgsfield. I'm gonna try not to go too much into depth. I think that's gonna be for another video. So this is mainly just to show you kind of like the possibilities and some ideas you can do to enhance your visuals for your clients. We're not generating fake content here, we're just kind of enhancing what has already been shot, right? So I'm using Nano Banana Pro for my image model. Again, this was the input lifestyle that I shot, and we transformed it into this beautiful beach scene. Just to show you a couple of different things you can do in here. I basically took that 4:5 aspect ratio and expanded it to 16:9 and got something like this. So you can see again over here my prompt. I'm telling it to keep the scene exactly the same. This was that scene that it did really well with, but I wanted it to add all of these products into that scene. So I'm telling it, take all the products from image 2 and put it into the scene of image 1 without changing any of the details, and yeah, retain all of the text for packaging. So yeah, then we get something like this, which is just amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't always do, so this was another option. It doesn't always do a great job with scale. This is a really subtle example. It like sometimes really shits the bed, but you can kind of tell like the blue package looks a little bit bigger than maybe some of these. So you gotta watch out for stuff like that. Again, something you can do, because for the longest time, AI hasn't done the best with text and whatnot, especially small text. Like it just butchers that and it is not always accurate. If you put in the prompt to tell it not to change the orientation of your input, which I didn't for this use case, but for this case I did. So I'll tell you what I mean by that. So, and as you can tell, you see how only the scene changes and the product stays in the same spot? So that's really good, and what that allows me to do, because as you can see in here, I think this says proprietary blend, and so what we can do is we can paint back in our packaging details, and that's really crucial, especially at this stage of the game with where AI is. It's not fully there yet. For text, it does really good on a lot of stuff, and it's grown so much, but I still find that really small fine print, it tends to butcher. This is a great example. As you can see on the side of this and right here is not accurate at all. So what we would do in this use case is we would take this image into Photoshop and then paint back in the correct text because it didn't move at all. So that's something you can do. I'm gonna try to save all the tips and tricks for another video. We're gonna move into kind of some video stuff so you can animate some things as well. So this was the still here. Basically just had a prompt. They get really long, especially when you use other AIs to write the prompt, but that's good and it's super descriptive, so that's what you want. So this was with VO 3.1. A lot has changed since I generated this. Kling 3.0 has been released and is probably a lot better than VO 3.1 now. So yeah, but this was kind of just cool. I wanted to see how it would do if we wanted to melt more chocolate onto the hand. So yeah, that's a good example. Also, we can generate some UGC content. So this was my input. This is my input using Nano Banana Pro. I kind of basically just told it, have a woman in a modern kitchen, about to grab the bag. And then I wanted to animate that too. I wanted her to grab a gummy and take a bite. Again, these are older video models. We've since got better. Yes, so it can do some goofy stuff. It's moving the background. It's kind of funny because this is mushroom gummies, so it's like maybe she's tripping at that point. I don't know. But you can see the packaging's off, the text isn't right, the scale isn't right of the packaging. It's definitely way bigger than it actually is. Again, it's this big. Very small. So there's things it does good, there's things it does bad. It was that shot with all the raspberries floating around the scene, and I worked with ChatGPT to write me up a prompt that basically said I want the raspberries to float around the bag and then go into the bag. So then we got this, which is kind of neat. So that's kind of neat. Could I have probably animated something better inside of After Effects? Absolutely. But the fact that anybody could just create something like this is definitely pretty crazy. And it's a good starting point, you know what I mean? I like this one a lot better. So this is with Wand 2.6 versus this. Oh, these were both Wand 2.6. This was interesting. So that's Kling 2.6. This was crazy. It kind of did like a little stop animation thing here. The bag looks abnormally blurry. I think this might have been 720. I don't know. Quality. So yeah, guys. So much is possible with this. Definitely plan to come out with a video that has more tips and tricks on kind of what I've been learning. I'm still new to this, just like a lot of you are. So I don't claim to really be an expert, but yeah, I'd love to hear how you guys are using it for your clients. I don't think AI is anything that's going away. It's gonna continue to be here, so we gotta learn to work with it and hopefully don't take our jobs and shit. Appreciate y'all for watching, start to finish here, if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.